Today, we're opening up the case files on some of America's most chilling landmarks. These are places where history, well, it's said to be anything but dead.
You know that feeling, right? You walk into a room and bam, the air just gets heavy. The temperature seems to drop for no reason, and the little hairs on your arms stand up. It's that unmistakable sense that you are not entirely alone.
Exactly. It's that feeling. It's as if history isn't just something you read about in books, but something that is still right there in the room with you. And that feeling is what connects every single place we're about to dive into.
So, let's treat this like a real investigation. We're going to look at 5 of the most famous haunted locations, sift through the evidence, and hear the eyewitness accounts. These are places where the past just refuses to rest in peace.
Okay, our first case file takes us way up into the Colorado Rocky Mountains to the Stanley Hotel. I mean, look at it. From the outside, it's just this gorgeous, elegant hotel with these amazing mountain views. But the stories from inside, wow, they tell a very, very different story.
Now, here's what's so wild about this. For decades, guests and staff have reported the exact same things. We're talking about hearing footsteps walking down an empty hall, the unmistakable sound of kids laughing when there are none around, and music coming from the ballroom piano, all by itself.
And while weird stuff happens all over the hotel, room 217 is considered ground zero. It is the absolute epicenter. If you're looking for paranormal activity at the Stanley, that's the room everyone points to. And here it is. This is the detail that put the Stanley on the map globally. A young Stephen King stayed just one night in that very room, room 217, and it freaked him out so much that it gave him the idea for his masterpiece of horror, The Shining. Yeah, the hotel's real ghosts were scary enough to inspire a legend.
All right, let's head over to our next case file in sunny San Diego, California. This is the Whaley House, and its reputation is so intense that people often call it the most haunted home in all of America. And its story? Well, it starts right from the ground up.
So get this, before a single brick of this house was ever laid, the land itself had a seriously dark past. It was the site of the town's gallows, where public hangings took place. A lot of people believe that grim foundation is exactly why the house is the way it is.
And the evidence on file is incredibly consistent. People who go there report the exact same things over and over. The sound of heavy boots walking on the floorboards upstairs, sudden cold spots that just appear out of nowhere, and these quick, fleeting glimpses of dark, human-shaped shadows.
And this just goes to show you how serious its reputation is. This isn't just some local ghost story. Back in the 1960s, the U.S. Commerce Department itself officially classified the Whaley House as haunted. Think about that, an official government acknowledgement. That's pretty rare.
Our third case file takes us to Philadelphia, to this massive, crumbling fortress, Eastern State Penitentiary. Back when it was open, this was one of the most famous and most feared prisons in the entire world. Today, it just stands in ruins, but it's far from empty.
The things people experience here are just profoundly creepy. Visitors who walk through these decaying cell blocks talk about hearing whispers that seem to come from inside the walls. They hear this chilling, disembodied laughter. And maybe the weirdest part? They snap photos in empty hallways and later find dark, shadowy figures in the pictures that they swear weren't there before. The theory goes that the extreme solitary confinement they practiced here literally trapped the spirits of the inmates, leaving them to serve a sentence that, well, that never really ended. So while the number of living inmates today is 0, some say that prison is more crowded than it's ever been.
All right, for our last 2 case files, we're going to do a bit of a lightning round. We're looking at a haunted Louisiana plantation and a legendary ocean liner. 2 totally different spots with a very similar, very chilling story to tell.
So first up, you have Myrtle's Plantation. Its most famous ghost is a woman named Chloe, supposedly seen in a green dress. But that's not all. Guests constantly report seeing the faces of children showing up in mirrors. Then you have the Queen Mary, which was a troop ship during the war. Its ghosts are from a different time. People hear desperate knocking from empty rooms, and the clear sound of sailors' footsteps on decks where they died a lifetime ago.
And just like room 217 at the Stanley, the Queen Mary has its own paranormal hotspot. The reports coming out of cabin B340 were so frequent and so terrifying that for years, the staff just gave up and sealed the room completely. They wouldn't let anyone in.
So we've looked at all these case files, and it all comes down to one big question. What is actually going on in these places? Are we just dealing with echoes from the past, or is it something more?
Really, there are two big theories here. The first is the idea that powerful emotional events can leave a kind of psychic stain on a place, like a recording that just plays over and over again. The other idea, the one that's a little more unsettling, is that these aren't just echoes. They're actual entities, the conscious spirits of people who, for whatever reason, are trapped here and never truly moved on.
Whether it's memories or something more, one thing seems pretty clear. In these places, the past is powerful, and it is very, very present. It kind of makes you wonder, maybe it's not that the ghosts won't leave the building. Maybe, just maybe, the building won't let them go.